Hey YouTube, it's me Chauny. How y'all doing? I'm coming to y'all today with a video about family and everything. I was speaking with a friend of mine, a very special friend of mine. So making this video on behalf of her because there was more that I wanted to say to her. But at the time I could not. And then I thought about it. I said, this situation is something that it affects a lot of people, you know. What I want to say is, guys, concerning children, okay? The topic of this is, this video is children and families, okay? And one of the really big issues that's going on right now today is that the enemy, okay, those of us who do believe in God and read the Bible, etc., or believe in the Most High, Yahushua or Yah, who, for those who use the proper term like I do. I don't want to leave anybody out because I got saved under the name God and Jesus, you know, and I know that God filled me with His Holy Spirit. So that's a whole nother issue for a whole nother video. But I do use the proper name now because, for one thing, I am a writer. I am a word person, you know, and so if you're a reader and a writer and a person who loves to study just for no apparent reason, you cannot find out the truth about something and continue to do it the wrong way. And that's just where I am in my life, you know. I don't want to do it the wrong way anymore. In that where that is, where the Bible and God is concerned, I use the proper term. But when I speak to you guys, I will say God, but I will not use that other word. So anyway, if you guys care for me to do a video on that, there's a bunch of videos on YouTube about it. But not everybody who represents God on YouTube is a really good person. So some of the people give God a really bad name. So, which will come up in my topic, in the topic today. So one of the things that I wanted to discuss concerning families and children is that I know I'm not the only one who notices, but a lot of people, families and their children are being separated right now like crazy. And it's been going on for years, but it's just really getting out of hand to where parents feel like they really can't deal with what's going on in the children's lives. I could specifically talk about what was going on in the person's life, but that's not relevant. Because what I want to share with you guys today is to hold on to your families no matter what. Because especially your children, now when you're dealing with small children, they're young and, you know, they're not at an age where they can actually choose the devil on their own. Hang on to them. Pray for them. Do the best you can for them. I didn't always do this. I got frustrated at a point in my life and I could not deal with certain things concerning my children, and I fell into a trap. I fell into a trap of allowing the government to get involved in my personal affairs. They had this program where they would put boys in jail. It's not really a jail, but it was a 30-day program, and I thought there would be no harm done because it's not jail, but it's a 30-day program. It's a house. All these kids go to it together. Well, males, because it's sort of like a jail, but it's more of a house, but in a jail-like in that they can't just walk out. They took them to church on Sundays, etc. Or either they had people come there on Sundays and preach to them, yada yada. So I thought that this would be in Fairfax County, Virginia. I thought this would be helpful for me. This is where it was. It's called a Chins, and I don't know if they still have it, but it's really sad, you know, and it calls to light two things. Child in Need of Services is what it's called, CHINS. Okay, they developed this thing because they knew probably a lot of African American families, I'm just going to put it out there like it is, in my area, would need that. Because why? The dads are not there. And I looked at it and I said, wow, we're letting these people, after it was already too late, and I tried the solution on my oldest child. Now, I know that my oldest child probably really felt bad, like, well, dad, she don't do the same thing she used to do, and I've even went so far as to call the police one time on my son, my younger son. But I'm saying all of this to say we have to hold on to our families, and we have to pray. And the storms and trials and tribulations that come in life will be really bad, but don't bend and don't break. Don't call the police. Do not call the government. They don't want to do anything good for our families. I've seen situations where people call the government people and they end up taking all of the children out of the household. That's what the government did for my friend Francine. She was going through a whole bunch of mess with her kids and everything. And, they were befriending her. And I said, I don't think this is right for you to do. Be careful, that was just my little 2 cents. And sometimes people get pissed at me because it seems like I don't know what I'm talking about, or the situation that they're in seems like a good one, whatever the case may be. So, I told her, I was like, I don't like the situation that you're in. Please don't, keep allowing these school teachers and stuff to be around your kids. And I mean, my God, it had to be within a couple of months' time. It was the most horrifying scene I ever seen in my life. Those kids were running around the complex where we lived, running all over the place, trying to get away from these CPS workers who came to take the children. Those kids, CPS felt like from something that the teacher found out or was sticking her nose in behind this woman's back, through picking up her little girls and finding out information from them, this teacher made a report to CPS. And she had 6 kids, I believe, and 1 grandchild who were taken out of the house, and they never gave her kids back to her. Where I was living at the time in Montgomery County, Maryland, they would take kids. She wasn't the only one. I was there to see them take up children out of other houses there and tell these people they were getting their kids back, and they never were giving their kids back. They would lie to them and say, do this, do this, do this, and this, and we'll bring your children back. And they would never bring them back. So I'm just telling you, I don't know why they're doing what they're doing, but this is what they do. They're in the business of separating families. So let's not run to them. Since I suffered from the experience of calling the authorities, I want to tell you that it was the biggest mistake of my life. And I thank God that none of my children ended up dead or anything, but they didn't come out better for it. Because my oldest son, when he came out, he just seemed to be different. And then it messes with your relationship with them. They don't comprehend or understand why you did that. They think you did something bad. I also sent my oldest son to his dad. That's another bad thing to do. If you got a person that's on drugs and alcohol and you send your child to them, that just makes them worse. But I had to learn the hard way. I'm 42 years old now. At the time when I was struggling with this stuff, I think I was in my 30s. Yeah, I was in my early to middle 30s, and I just didn't know what to do. When certain things that boys start participating in, that stuff freaked me out. I don't do that. I'm not into those things. So when grown men come and knock on my door, I'm a woman, and I'm just like a sitting duck. You know what I'm saying? And there was nobody there to help me. You're involved with these people in the streets, and they start knocking on my door. I'm like, yo, I called in the what do you call it? The big guns, because I'm like, okay, daddy is a male. He can deal with it. He can go out here and deal with this. Okay. Because for one thing, and I'll tell you another reason I did is because he was always telling them, don't follow your mother and believe in God. He told them what to believe in and what to do. He even told them some negative things. I don't want to put him out here. I'm not making this video to put him down, but I'm just saying, since you told them all the negative stuff, my idea was to, okay, so you come and deal with this, because they're doing and participating in what you said to participate in. If they follow the path that I'm going, since my child was, I believe my son was about 9 years old in 1997 when I got saved. I've been showing them the Bible. I've been showing them by example. It don't even have to be the Bible. Did they see me smoking? No. They didn't see me drinking? No. They didn't see me having boyfriends in and out my house. The only one I gave a chance was their father to come back a couple of times, praying for him that things would work out, because it's best for a kid to have a father rather than not have a father. You see what I'm saying? So lead by example. Don't be smoking cigarette. Okay, if you know you're trying to smoke, trying to quit smoking, and you don't want your kids to smoke, don't smoke in their face. Go around the corner and smoke that mess. I'm gonna tell you the greatest thing my father ever did for me. I'm gonna tell you what my dad did. Okay, my father was he was finished with alcohol. Okay. It's one of the greatest things. There's several things he did for me. I think were really 3 great things that he did that I remember, okay? Because he gets upset because sometimes I don't remember everything. But there's 3 things that I truly remember that stuck in my brain. And the thing is, it's what you do. It's all about what you do. That's why, it's not about this, okay? So anyway, what he did was that he explained to me that he kind of like backslid or fell down one time during his time of being dealing with his alcoholism when I was a kid, but my dad never let me see it. I never knew that happened. Okay, so because I never knew that happened, I always saw my dad as he was the type of person that, he was not an alcoholic. I saw enough people in my family who were alcoholics and drug addicts and all that kind of stuff. I could see that every day. What I didn't see was somebody who was walking in victory. And my father, I feel just like him. I'm just going to take a guess at what he probably felt and why he did that. But he mentioned it to me, but he didn't tell me why. But I'm going to tell you this. There have been times when I feel in a certain way, but I didn't do it in front of my children because I don't want them to mess up. And I didn't plan on making this one little mistake my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Lifestyles, when you plan on doing it every day, it's going to come out. Your kids going to see it. You know what I mean? But if I made this one little mistake, why should my children see me make that one mistake? Now there have been times where I've fallen and I just fell, and I'm talking about my health and my eating habits and stuff like that. And they knew, because I was in the position that I just totally failed. But if I just, slipped up one day or something like that, no, I'm not going to do that. Especially when you're talking about drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. If your kids don't have to see that, don't let them see that, because it's they grow up and do what they see. Okay, don't smack a child in their mouth because they cursed. If you're cursing, that's what children are going to do. Okay, what goes in my ear, I'm a grown woman, 42. What goes in my ear starts coming out of my mouth. So I watch what I hang around. I have to be careful what I watch. I was trying to be nice, and try to watch certain channels, but I had to stop. I'm like, man, whenever you start doing it, it could be a movie or anything, negativity start coming out your mouth. And I don't want that coming out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Out of the abundance of the thoughts in your mind, the mouth speaks. You know what I'm saying? You speak what's here. And so if you want positive things to be here, watch who you're around. You know what I mean? Be around somebody who's always talking something good, something positive, and do that and be that good example in front of your children. But hang on to them, because there's an enemy out here. There's a force, man. Look at the videos, the music videos. Look at the movies that the kids are watching. Look at all of the stuff that they have available for television, the internet. Look at what their friends are saying, okay? You guys might not know who got your kids in public school. I believe in homeschooling, firm believer in that. One day I may do a video to expound on that. If you guys want to hear it, just leave it in the comments. Let me know. But if you check out what's going on in school, you'll be shocked. I have a sister in Christ, praise God. She works there. And I get to hear everything. And it's a zoo, a living zoo, okay? And an upscale community. She works for a school in a very upscale area. Okay, I'm not going to say the area because she's going to be quitting soon. But when she does, I'll name the school in the area for you. And you will be shocked, because this is rich people, rich kids. It doesn't matter where you are. Public school is some garbage now, okay? When my daughter was over in Springfield, Virginia, she went to West Springfield High, affluent, full of money, okay? And those kids ended up being on the news because of drugs. That ended up being on the news because they ended up having seizures. I think they got a hold of some bad spice or K2 thinking it was regular weed. And bam, they went into convulsions and almost died over there. Blase, blase. Well, the drugs was in the school before that, okay? The sex bathroom was in that school before that, okay? You guys don't know what's going on out here. So don't push your kids away, man. Pray for your children and hang on to them. Ask God to help you. You know what I'm saying? When I got myself together, okay, I first of all started cleansing my house. You do all that you can while they're young, okay? But when they get to a certain age and they start bucking, you know what I'm saying? You got to let them go. If they buck you, let them go. At one point, God said, let go and let me. And I just let it go. You see what I'm saying? I didn't give them to the authorities, but I took my hands off, okay? When they get to bucking like that, they got to go out there and we would like to say just bump their head. But some of them might go out there and actually bash their head. They might end up in ICU. Half dead. But you keep praying for them because some kids are really hard-headed. Some grown-ups are really hard-headed. Some grown-ups, before they cry out to God, gonna end up in the hospital in ICU. Some children, before they cry out to God, will end up in the hospital in ICU with a bullet in them, right? But some grown-ups like myself, you know, I was the baby you can pop on the pamper and I start crying. That was me. You ain't got to do no whole bunch of stuff like that to me. I don't even think it's because I don't want to take the physical pain of anything. It's just that I realize, like, when I compare things, you know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. I don't want no whole bunch of chaos in my life. Who would actually really truly want chaos in their life? So what I think is that some people actually have a problem mentally comprehending that this road is going to lead them to death, jail, or something, you know, insanity. You know what I mean? Because Satan comes before to kill, steal, and destroy. He comes for no other reason. He's not there to help you. And I think that a lot of people, young and old, have a hard time distinguishing between where these roads are going to lead them. But I praise God because he blessed me with wisdom, at least after 1997, after I was saved, because I did a lot of very many stupid things before then. So I can't even give myself credit. God blessed me with wisdom that I will look at roads now and it's like, nah, I can kind of see where that road is going and I don't want that. If that's not the end result you want, then why would you go down that road? The thing, and it just, you know, at first it used to really, really puzzle me. It still annoys me, but I kind of get it now. Because before I was saved, I would keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over. You know, getting involved with abusive men, getting involved with men who ain't worth my time and end up just mistreating me. They just as sick as I am spiritually and mentally and need all kinds of help from God. And we're going to get two sick people and put our sick minds and our sick thoughts together and think that we're going to get something from one another. I'm begging you for help and you begging me from helping. We can't help each other because we both need help. You understand what I'm saying? Is you have to become whole and one with God so that when you come into a relationship, you have something to offer. And so that's the second thing, you know, saved women do. They get involved. They get themselves together. Then they get involved with people that, you know, basically they needy. And so you became his doctor or nurse. And that's not what you need. You need a balanced relationship. Both people need to be saved. It's another, you know, still on the point of family. But we have to hold on to our children because it's not their fault. I know this video is getting long, but it's not their fault. It's a lot of stuff that we got them involved in. You check the schools, you check are you watching TV? Like I said, when I got, are they watching a lot of TV, playing a lot of video games? In my household, I'm going to tell you, my kids can never say that I taught them wrong. I was always, I did never want to grow up, have my children grow up and say, this was your fault. Because kids will get older and start looking around at everything. And I thank God for this. And they'll say, this was your fault, Mom. This was your fault, Dad. And it may be your fault because I've seen situations where for something this simple, okay, you're a parent, you're responsible. If the child is under 18, they come to you and say, Mom, Dad, can I go to this party? Mom, Dad, can I spend the night at Billy, Becky, or Susie's house? You understand what I'm saying? Your yes or no determines the outcome. of whatever goes on with the child. And I'm going to tell you why. Your yes or no